This is an article from something called the Natural Health News and Scientific Discoveries. I'm just going to read it without editorializing. Governments, in plural, seize colloidal silver being used to treat Ebola patients. Efforts to bring natural Ebola treatments to suffering West Africans have been squelched by the World Health Organization, which recently blocked multiple shipments of nanosilver solution measuring at 10 parts per million from entering the region, leaving thousands to suffer needlessly. World health officials also reportedly called off a trial at an Ebola isolation ward where local health authorities were set to begin administering the silver, which the U.S. government previously demonstrated is highly effective against Ebola. World Health Organization ordered the trial not to proceed despite the fact that it had earlier voiced support for the experimental treatments. Both World Health Organization and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, have given their blessing to experimental therapies for Ebola, citing a lack of proven treatment options. But when it comes to using therapeutic silver, all bets are off, it seems. Authorities blocked small shipments of nanosilver 3 times. According to the Natural Solutions Foundation, efforts to ship nanosilver to Sierra Leone have thus far failed. The organization has been trying to deliver a shipment of 200 bottles of nanosilver, 10 parts per million, which is a very weak version of colloidal silver actually, and 100 tubes of nanosilver gel to no avail. At this point, the shipment has been returned to the U.S. for the 3rd time. That parcel, shipped air express at a cost of $3,400 to Sierra Leone on August 20th, never made it out of Paris, reads an NSF action alert. Air France has yet to find a reason for that, but it made its way back to the U.S. again, apparently for the 3rd time, without being delivered to Africa. People are dying and bureaucrats are still playing politics with silver. Formerly classified documents obtained from the U.S. Department of Defense reveal that an antimicrobial silver solution like the kind NSF is trying to deliver to Africa have proven benefits in fighting Ebola and other forms of hemorrhagic fever. Research conducted by the Department of Defense and several other federal agencies back in 2008 confirmed this, though health regulators largely ignored it. A presentation entitled Silver Nanoparticles Neutralize Hemorrhagic Fever Viruses, which revealed exactly what its name suggests, was buried and kept secret for years. In essence, investigators determined that simple silver solutions neutralize viruses like arenavirus and filovirus, both of which are related to Ebola. Interestingly, the research was conducted with the backing of the DoD's Defense Threat Reduction Agency and the U.S. Strategic Command Center for Combating Weapons of Mass Destruction. The presentation was given by researchers from the Applied Biotechnology Branch, 711th Human Performance Wing of the Air Force Research Laboratory. But not a single mainstream media outlet reported on the presentation, and to this day its findings have been largely ignored by establishment health authorities. Sadly, this political quagmire, nanosilver is obviously a threat to pharmaceutical interests, and thus is being marginalized, is resulting in thousands of needless deaths in West Africa with no end in sight. Contact your representative and demand that nanosilver be used in Africa. NSF is calling on 10 million people to write their representatives and demand that clinical trials be conducted on nanosilver in Africa. The group says doctors and nurses need nanosilver to protect themselves, and patients need it to overcome the disease. Recommended dosages for each application are available at the following link at the bottom of the page. So, the cure is there. It's been around for 100 years, and the real reason for Ebola scare is they may be trying to pull out the worldwide pandemic on this. In tandem with ISIS, the best terrorist U.S. money can buy, starting World War III in the Middle East, which is stuff that people like me in the exopolitics community have been trying to stop and warning the world about for the last 7 years. It looks like they're doing it. So spread this around. People need to know this. You can get colloidal silver at a health food store. You can buy a colloidal silver maker for $150. You can make it as strong as you like. You can drink it 24 hours a day, and you won't turn blue. And if nothing else, they want U.S. and Europe and Russia and China are fighting over Africa. They seem to have forgotten that Africans already live there, and getting rid of the population with what do they call these things? Plague, pandemic is ideal for outsiders.